So we made it back to Montana, got here to start the ride. I remember we're driving over it and we're gonna start the ride the next morning, and we get up to Logan Pass and we start going down the side we're gonna bike up. And I'm like looking down this thing like, what did I just set up for myself? Like, I don't think, there's nothing in Minnesota that even compares. I have no idea if this is gonna be possible. So I'm getting a little nervous, but I didn't let that slow me down. Woke up the next morning at about 4 o'clock, was riding by about 5:15. And I had 5 buddies with me that were gonna ride, and it was pretty comical the way they got up, because I was up, I was riding when I wanted to be riding. And right when I was getting ready to ride, the first one of my friends finally pops his head out of the tent. Hey, sorry man, my alarm clock didn't go off. I was like, are you kidding me? Who makes those excuses these days? Alarm clocks go off. If you set it, it goes off. And I was like, you know what, that's fine. You guys get ready. You'll obviously be able to catch up to me. So I'm going to start the ride. I'll meet you further down the road. And so I started the ride, and it was amazing because I was by myself. My accident happened by myself. And here I am 1 year later, the day before my 1-year anniversary of my accident. And I'm in the mountains again by myself, watching the golden sun rise up and shine on the mountains. Amazing moment. And started my ride slowly but surely. Everybody trickled over, and we ended up, really going for it. So I start this ride, and I'm cranking away. It seems like I'm never going to get there. But eventually, one thing leads to another. We make our way to a point where I could see Logan Pass. And that's when the altitude really started to set in. And I hunched over, trying to breathe. I'm lightheaded. My friends are all worried. Joe, you okay? This and that. And just drank some water and knew I had to get there. I was so close. It was like a half mile away. I had to make this happen. So I sat up, pushed all the sick feelings away, and I just started cranking. And I made it to Logan Pass. That was a huge moment in my life. The main thing that it taught me at that part of my life, in this journey that I'm on, was that you're supposed to set goals this big. You're supposed to set goals beyond what you think is possible. Because when you get there and you accomplish it, it's going to be a way better feeling than anything you've ever done for yourself. And I like to compare it to you're getting ready for, like you guys. So you're all getting ready to go to college at some point in the next few years. So you're thinking about careers. There may be some of you that want to be a doctor. And that might seem like a huge task to take on. That's a lot of schooling. So you don't know if you can maybe do it. So maybe you take your goal and you step it back a couple feet and you say, I'm going to become a nurse. Still a great job. I'm still in the medical field, still doing pretty much what I want to do, but I don't have to do as much work to get there, and I know I can make that happen. Well, I guarantee you'll be happy you'll be a nurse, but you're going to regret not ever trying to see if you could become a doctor. But if you go for being a doctor and you end up not accomplishing it, but you gave it everything you had, you're going to have zero regret. And I can guarantee you're going to end up surprising yourself how far you can take it, and you'll end up being that doctor. And you'll be doing exactly what you want to be doing with your life. And so that's one of the bigger things I learned, which is why that's how I set my goals now. So my biggest goal right now for myself personally is I want to become the first wheelchair-using quadriplegic to ever complete a full Ironman triathlon. So for those of you that don't know what that really consists of, it's a 2.4-mile swim, it's a 112-mile bike ride, and a 26.2-mile run, where I'll be pushing a wheelchair for that portion of it. And I have 17 hours to get that done. Nobody in my condition's ever done it. I don't know if it's possible. There's a lot of factors that I have to think about. I don't sweat anymore because of my injury. My heart rate doesn't go up as high. I can't breathe as well as I used to because my diaphragm has been weakened. Those are all the reasons why nobody's attempted it. But I'm going to see if I can make it happen. I'm going to give it my all. And if I don't end up making it happen, I'm going to be really happy I tried to make it happen. But I'm pretty confident at this point that I'm going to make this happen. And so that's my own personal goal. That's me pushing myself. But there's something a lot bigger going on right now. A lot bigger. And that's that we're starting a nonprofit here in Missoula called Headstrong Adventures. And it's going to be designed to provide outdoor adventure for people with disabilities. We're starting with a 7-day spinal cord injury outdoor adventure camp, which we're going to hold up around Glacier National Park. We're going to have off-road hand cycling. We're going to have whitewater rafting, fly fishing, zip lining on Whitefish Mountain, camping the whole time. It's going to be an amazing adventure for everybody involved. This is the biggest thing I've ever done in my life, the biggest thing I've ever been involved with, because it's bigger than me. It's bigger than an Ironman. It's about helping other people. It's about allowing other people to find a higher quality of life, especially after such a traumatic incident in their lives. And not only for just the person that had the accident, but the people around them. Because if that person finds a higher quality of life, everybody around them is going to be happy. Because you'd be amazed at how much harder something like this is for all my friends and family and Amy than it was for me to go through. So in the end, it's going to be really lifting the quality of life for an entire community. Most meaningful thing I've ever been a part of, and I can't wait to see it happen. And so the one other thing I want to leave with you guys that I've learned from my accident is managing your risks that you take. My accident could have been completely prevented had I not been flying alone, had I had a pilot with more experience with me to tell me, hey, don't do that right now, you don't have enough experience for that, had I learned weather better, a number of other different reasons. And so I like to think about it of really, weighing out the risk versus the reward. And so for me, going up on a mountain and jumping off of it, or jumping out of an airplane as a skydiver, or mountain biking really fast down a mountain, those risks that I were taking were worth the reward. I knew I could crash. I knew I could die. I knew that terrible things could happen. But what I was doing meant so much to my life that every flight was worth that. What scares me is when I'm driving down the road and I see somebody texting and driving. That terrifies me. Because that's somebody doing something so much more dangerous than they actually think it is. And they're not thinking about the risk. They're not thinking about the worst outcome just to get one text out. And I know it sounds silly, but it's so true. I guarantee you more people die in car accidents than base jumpers, skydivers, kayakers, mountain bikers, every sport combined. More people die every year driving. It's a war out there on the road. And so think about it. If all you're trying to do is get one text out to a friend, but you end up crashing and killing yourself or somewhere else, or end up in a wheelchair like I am, the reward of getting that text out is not going to make it worth it. Not one bit. So I'd really like you guys to just think about that. In every area of your life, think about the risk you're taking. Make sure that risk is worth the reward. Because if it's not, don't take that risk. Because if it goes the negative route, you're not going to be happy you took that risk. So I just want to thank all of you for being such an amazing audience and allowing me to come in here and share my experiences with you. And I hope you're able to take a little something from it. So have a good day.